What's up, guys? All right. The lighting in here is weird. Holloway versus Cater was the fight of the night, and Lee and Alessio, they won the $50,000.
Dana, ABC debut in the books. Can't imagine you could dial it up much better for a network television debut.
No, it was incredible. You couldn't script it better. It was a good night. Really happy. A little drained, you know. It's funny, I was telling my guys tonight, you know, as successful as we've been and all the things that we've accomplished over the last 20 years and just coming through the pandemic and all this shit, you still sweat the, you know. I grew up on ABC's Wide World of Sports, and, you know, tonight was a big deal for us. So to be able to deliver the way, and so if we would have went over tonight, if the fights went long, and we went over, they would have shut us off. It wouldn't have just spilled over because it goes into the local news. So we had to be off. We got off at 57. I mean, it just, the whole thing couldn't play out any more perfect than it did.
That's awesome. You know, going in, it was just a one-time thing, right? I mean, we weren't sure what the future is. Have you talked to network execs? I mean, have they said anything like, hey, that was amazing, let's do this again real soon?
Well, I mean, it just got over, no. But, you know, they wanted us, and we said, awesome, let's do this, and it was pretty damn good. So I told the guys when they weighed in the other day, and when I did the fighter meeting, when this thing lined up, when ABC asked for a fight, and the dates were lining up, and this was the card that was lining up, I was like, thank God. I knew this card was going to be good.
It did, start to finish.
The main card,
yeah,
the prelims were...
Main card was good, though.
Yeah.
And, of course, the main event was incredible. Can you talk about, you know, Max Holloway, guy looking, I mean, as good as he ever has? What do you think about his performance tonight?
Yeah, it's, you know, I think that people keep doubting Max and thinking, you know, is old Max going to show up? You know, the guy who's lost the step and all this, and he just doesn't. A lot of people whom we all respect and know a lot about this sport picked Cater to win tonight, and and let's give Cater the respect he deserves too. You know, it takes two to make a great fight, and you know, incredible.
What'd you make in the fifth round? He's talking to the commentary team and slipping punches at the same time. I mean, what do you make of something like that?
He's fun, man. Holloway's fun. What's crazy is too, you know, I haven't talked to Max about this. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I was hearing that he didn't even spar for this camp. So to not spar for this camp and come out and perform the way that he did is pretty impressive.
Traditionally, when you go 0-2 against a champion, it's tough to get that third fight, right? I mean, we've seen that throughout history. But, man, the way the guy looked tonight, if Volkanovski, I know we still got to do Volkanovski-Ortega, but if Volkanovski were to win, would you at least consider Max for a third fight the way he looked tonight?
I think we have to. I mean, when you're the champion, you have the top 5 guys in the world gunning at you, right? When you're the #1 contender in the world, you got the top 10 guys in the world. And sometimes number 8 is more dangerous than number 3. Tonight he fought a bad dude that a lot of people thought was going to beat him, and he went out and treated him like number 6. So he did what he needed to do in spectacular fashion tonight, and I think that he deserves to fight Volkanovski again.
Yeah, fantastic. The Khabib news was revealed tonight, right? It's funny. You said it was going to be yes or no, and it ends up being a maybe, more or less, right?
Yeah.
So what was your feel walking away? I mean, I know you were hoping for a definitive answer. I guess it's not a no, but what's your feel?
Yeah, and I don't think it was a maybe. I think that, you know, the thing is with him is when you make the decision to retire, you know, I knew that he made the decision under unbelievable emotional stress, and you know, his dad died. He got hurt during that camp, couldn't even train right, couldn't cut weight right. I mean, all the things that he went through, and then went out and performed the way that he performed, and then made that decision that night. He said, listen, you're not tying anything up, just go home, spend some time with your family, heal up, think about it. And then he and I got together, and he's like, I want to see if somebody really blows me away and impresses me. next week. You got the co-main event and the main event, and obviously Oliveira looked awesome against Tony Ferguson. So that's an interesting fight to him. And we'll see what these guys do this weekend. And I think it's fun. The last thing, I saw a lot of people bitching, oh, he always says he lets people retire and all that shit. What do you guys not want to see fucking Khabib fight again? Holy shit. The friggin' drama fucking queens that follow this sport are unbelievable, but I don't. So hopefully he sticks around and does one more.
Nice. Last thing for me, and I guess just to kind of clarify on that. So really, all 5 of those guys are in play, as you mentioned, the main, the co-main, Oliveira, and you'll just let him pick it and say, that's the one I want?
To him, he wants to see everybody. He wants to see all these guys fight. He wants to, already said Oliveira looked awesome. That guy looked great. And felt like, he deserves a shot at the title. Let's see what everybody brings next weekend.
Hey, Dana. I know it literally just happened, and you have to sort of let these things play out. But was Max's performance tonight possibly the best we've ever seen? I mean, he got a 50-42 scorecard. He landed more strikes or he threw more strikes ever. Could that have been the best performance we've seen?
He looked incredible, and I see a lot of people. Rogan did a nice write-up on him, posted on social media. The best he's ever looked. He looked incredible tonight, but I thought he looked unbelievable against Aldo. He's had some performances that he looked completely dominant and really just, finished the fight and everything else. He looked amazing tonight, but I don't know if I'd call this his best performance ever, but it's up there. It's one of them.
He shouted it in the cage. Do you think he's the best boxer in the UFC?
The best boxer?
Yeah.
He's one of the all-time greats, period, fighting. One of the all-time greats.
Is Khabib going to be there to watch the Conor-Dustin fight?
No. He's cornering on Wednesday, and then he leaves. So he leaves and goes to Vegas. So I will have the fight and fly home on Sunday, and I'll see him again in Vegas. So those fights will have played out. He and I are going to hook up and go to dinner in Vegas and talk again, and we'll make a decision. And the one thing that he did say is, I'll never hold up the division. Whoever's next, if I decide I don't want to fight any of these guys, whoever's next is next.
So will that meeting be a yes or no meeting?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, he just said he won't hold up the division.
Okay.
So he's either going to fight somebody or he's going to walk away.
Thanks, Dan.
Going off of what you said, that Max has had a lot of great performances. He's also had a lot of iconic moments, like pointing at the ground against Lamas, like teaching Brian Ortega how to block in the middle of a fight. Basically, Roy Jones and Calvin in there. Is Max the coolest fighter in UFC history?
He's one of them for sure. Yeah. It's funny when you say that about Max, and it's so true. Khabib was telling me when I was with him last night that, and I didn't know this, maybe you guys knew this, but, all the stuff that him and Gaethje were talking about during that fight. He told me last night that he's never been hit or kicked harder ever in a fight than by Gaethje. And Gaethje hit him with a couple of shots, and then he thought Gaethje looked kind of weird, and he pointed at him and said, "You have jet lag," in the middle of the fight. Gaethje said, "No, I don't," and hit him with an uppercut and a left hook, he said. And then Khabib said something to him again, and he leg kicked him. And then I guess when Habib took him down and was on top of him, he said, "Now what are you going to do?" And he said, he's telling me all this shit that those two were talking about during the fight. First of all, the fight didn't even go that long. I didn't know how they would have that much of a conversation. But, yeah, and, Holloway's one of those guys, too.
Max said he would even throw his name in to replace Conor Dustin if something happened. Would you?
Yeah, I think he deserves to go home and take some time off. I respect it, but we're good. We're covered.
There were 3 other finishes on the main card. What did you think of Puna, Li Zhiliang, and Alessio Di Chirico on the main card?
Yeah, I mean, the whole main card was great. It was a great card. Everybody came out and performed. Listen, you get the platform to be on network television on ABC. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, the list goes on and on of all the greats that have fought on ABC and other great athletes that have played on Wide World of Sports or whatever it may be. And you get this opportunity. And I think everybody made the most of the opportunity tonight.
Did you watch the Felipe Tafa fight on the prelims too?
Yep.
Forehead to forehead. What'd you make of that?
Yep.
That fight.
Tough. Yeah, those guys were rock solid chins and, throwing bombs.
And then finally, Carlos Condit said this was the last fight on his contract. You're going to have to sit down with him and hopefully bring him back to the UFC.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But listen, I love Carlos. That's why Carlos is still here. He's one of the all-time greats and one of the OGs around here.
Obviously, it's up to Khabib to decide if he's impressed or not, but will you bring up Max Holloway option the next time you talk to him, given that they were scheduled to fight before?
No, I like him. Max is at 45. I for a long time, I thought Max was a big 45-pounder till he moved up to 55. And I said, oh, shit, he's not as big as I thought he was. I like him at 45, especially after tonight's performance.
You spoke briefly to Kevin Cater on his way from the cage. What did you say to each other?
To who?
Calvin Cater.
Oh, I was just telling him what an incredible performance it was. I had gone over to his corner because I thought the fight should have been stopped in the 4th round. And I was freaking out a little bit. I said, he's not going to stop and talk to anybody. We're going to take him straight to the ambulance and send him to the hospital. So then I went over to him and I said, you're so tough. What an unbelievable performance. And he said, that's not what I want to be known for. And he goes, but I'm not going to back down to anybody. And I said, we're going to send you straight to the hospital right now. I don't want you talking to anybody or doing anything. And then he started laughing and thought that was funny. So he's in good spirits. His head was clear. And, our interaction made me feel better. And all's good. I'm hearing everything's good so far. So those kind of fights freak me out.
Dana,
Go ahead.
Dana, so many good fights tonight,
Hey,
mate.
buddy.
So many possible fight of the nights as well, right? But I think what we all want to know is, does Bruce Buffer's fly get 50K? No?
No.
What did you make to having the fans back in the atmosphere tonight?
You know what? It's funny you say that because not the fans, but the fans were fucking awesome, right? What was there in here? 1,000 people? 2,000? They were awesome. We talked about this leading up to this, and you're like, people were asking me, what do you think about the fans? And when I said, I don't know, ask me after, and let's see how. I can't wait to have the fans back. They were awesome tonight, man. They had so much energy, and it sounded like there were more than 2,000 people. But we're going on ABC tonight,